Hey, I'm Dr. Sharvari. We are still fighting with Corona, but rainy season is already here. And rainy season means the most prevalent communicable disease will start, and that disease is dengue. We'll be talking about dengue as it is pronounced dengue, and also in India it is pronounced as dengue. So we'll be talking on it, the causes, signs and symptoms, the complications, and how to deal with it, the do's and don'ts during this monsoon. So let's begin. So basically dengue has got 4 types of viruses. When a person is carrier of the virus, the mosquito comes and bites him at that time. The mosquito gets infected with the virus. The mosquito is the carrier, he goes and bites another person, and that person gets infected because of the mosquito. So it's not like Corona wherein you directly come in contact and then get infected, but it's through the mosquito the cycle goes on. I'll be showing you the picture of the mosquito. The mosquito's name is Aedes aegypti mosquito, which usually is the carrier of this virus. And after that we'll be talking about the risk factors concerned with dengue. Basically, if you're staying in areas like Southeast Asia, Pacific Islands, Latin America, these are the areas which are more prone to get dengue, because these are the areas which have humid climate and are water surrounded. So if you're also surrounded by water where you stay, you are on a higher risk. Secondly, if you were previously infected by dengue, the next time if you get infected, it will be in a severe form, which is called as dengue hemorrhagic fever. So there the risk factor lies, because most of these cases then later on land up in deaths also. So you have to be extra careful if you are staying in these areas, and these are the main risk factors of dengue. We will see the mechanism, how it actually works. When the mosquito is infected with the virus, the virus gets binded with the saliva of the mosquito. Then the mosquito goes and bites another person. That person, when gets infected, through the skin the absorption of the virus happens. Then this particular virus goes and binds with the white blood cells present in our body. The white blood cells basically are like fighter or soldier cells, which are the first response of our body. So this virus goes and binds with the white blood cells and keeps on reproducing it. So because of that, the white blood cells start sending the signals like fever and rashes to the body. So that's how the mechanism basically of dengue works. Mainly, incubation period is where the onset of the symptom and the exposure happened. So between this period, it is called as incubation period, and that is usually from 3 to 14 days. Usually 4th to 7th day is where the person starts getting the symptoms. This is for the infected person, and the second cycle is where the mosquito gets infected with the virus. When it gets infected, the cycle of getting infected is from 8th to 10th day. The mosquito gets infected, and the virus, it binds with the salivary gland or the saliva of the mosquito, and the virus stays inside the body of that mosquito, and then that mosquito keeps on infecting multiple persons, and this virus stays inside the mosquito's body for lifetime, and it has no effect on the mosquito itself. So that's how the transmission process actually happens. Symptoms of dengue can be classified in 3 phases. The 3 phases are febrile phase, critical phase and recovery phase. So let's see these phases in form of a diagrammatic representation. Symptoms of dengue fever can be seen in 3 phases. First comes the febrile phase. Here there is sudden onset of high grade fever up to 104 degree Fahrenheit, then headache, mouth and nose bleeding, muscle and joint severe pains, vomiting, rash, and diarrhea. Then comes the critical phase. Here there is leakage of plasma from blood vessels, and because of that there is accumulation of fluid in chest and abdominal cavity. It results into hypotension, pleural effusion, ascites, or gastrointestinal bleeding also. Next comes the recovery phase. Here recovery is striking and there is altered level of consciousness due to accumulation of fluid which happens in critical phase, and also there are fits. Then comes the severe itching and slow heart rate. The typical or the classical sign of dengue is usually called as the islands of white in a sea of red. It means red patches are usually seen because of breaking of capillaries and it is scattered all over the skin. So it is called as islands of white in the sea of red. So that is the classical sign of dengue. If a person is drinking well and eating well and passing urine and shows no warning signs of dengue, he is usually managed at home by putting him on oral rehydration therapy, where a lot of fluids are to be suggested. And if the case is in the extreme or the severe side, it is usually treated in hospitals by admissions and in ICUs as well, as sometimes in some cases blood transfusion is also needed as the platelet count goes on decreasing. So in those cases they have to be treated at hospital. Do not take it very lightly. They have to be managed properly. Vaccine nowadays is available for dengue and it is known by the brand name Dengvaxia, and it is mainly used in countries like United States, parts of Europe and Singapore, Mexico, etc. It is not recommended for primary infections, but usually it is given to avoid secondary infections, and it is partially effective vaccine though. So that's the vaccination which is currently in use for dengue. Diagnosis for dengue is usually done through first basic primary is the hemogram, where complete blood count is taken, and the white blood cells and the platelet count is which is mainly observed upon. And later on, as the various forms or the stages goes on increasing, the more microbial laboratory tests are also assigned, and even immunoglobulins like IgG and IgM can be detected, but it is in the later phase of the dengue infection. So that's how it is also diagnosed, and typical symptoms and signs are also to be seen carefully. Basically, preventing dengue is what we can do. Preventing dengue is by using mosquito repellents when you are going outside, not getting exposed to mosquitoes, and wearing full sleeve clothes all the time, and preventing mosquito bite. Usually keep all the coolers or the containers, vessels clean all the time. Do not store and accumulate water, as water is the main resource for mosquitoes to breed upon. So these need to be carefully cleaned and kept hygienic. The water tanks usually seen on buildings and all also need to be taken care of. The lid should be closed all the time so that the mosquitoes do not enter it. Also, use of mosquito nets is recommended while sleeping, and that's what we can do to prevent dengue. Even I have this personal experience where even I was infected with dengue once, and I knew that from initial stage only, if you are very, very well hydrated, it helps you a lot. So from the second day itself, I started hydrating myself, drinking plenty of fluids, electrolyte balancing fluids, and eating vitamin C rich fruits, eating kiwis, oranges, these are the most recommended. Also, I have experience wherein I had taken homeopathy. Homeopathy has got drugs like Eupatorium perforatum, aconite, arsenic, belladonna, china, and also rustox. So these all remedies in homeopathy are specific for dengue, but you have to go to a doctor, take doctor's recommendation, and by proper consultation only the doctor will take your case and prescribe you accordingly. Never self-medicate. Do not take non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or aspirin by yourself. If you are suffering from headache and fever, do not self-medicate. First go to the doctor when you see the warning signs of dengue. So that was my personal experience and how homeopathy helps in these conditions. So consult your doctor immediately. So that's all about dengue. I hope I have given you enough information about dengue. So next time if you are having any signs and symptoms about it, go to your doctor and get treated fast as soon as possible. So that's all. Thank you.